Hi everyone. I want to start off today by telling you a quick little story. A young actor, an acquaintance that I knew a number of years ago, um, landed a nice little role, 3-day shoot, but a nice little demanding role, very challenging, would be a great feather in his cap and for his reel. Heard from the director gave him a comment after, he did well, and he thought he did very well as well. So he decided that what he would do when the film was released in Toronto, to make a party of it, invite his family, friends, everybody else to attend. I guess they went out for a little dinner beforehand. They went into the theater, and unfortunately, he wasn't in the movie. That's I apologize for laughing, and I apologize for him, but that's a cardinal rule with actors. You know, you always sneak into the film before you talk to anybody about it to make sure that you did not end up on the cutting room floor. That's basically what happened to a number of us in a film called The Tuxedo. I doubt whether you saw it because very few people did, but it had a great advertising campaign. It's just nobody went to see it. And Jennifer Love Hewitt and Jackie Chan were the stars of the film. And Jennifer Love Hewitt is a wonderful woman. Oh my God, I can't tell you enough. She's just great. Anyway, having said that, the idea in the film was that there were water barons, and there were 4 of us in the film, water barons. I guess we had our own reservoir wells or whatever. Anyways, this bad guy decided he was going to buy us out on his own terms, and that if we didn't sell to him, hey, guess what? We'd be food for the fishes, I guess. Anyway, he threw out the negotiations, one-sided negotiations, got 3 of us to agree. 1 guy didn't agree. And of course, he drives away in the limousine, and everybody goes, wow, what did we agree for? He gets away, but he didn't get away. There was a scene that never made the movie. He's in the back of the limousine, the glass wall goes up, the windows go up, the doors lock, and all of a sudden it starts filling full of water. And there he is trying to swim his way out of it somehow or another in the back seat of a limousine with cars driving by and children looking and wondering what's with this guy drowning in the back of a car as the driver sings, row, row, row your boat. Well, that scene and a number of other scenes that we as water barons were involved in, I guess, were too dark. And they wanted for the film a PG-13 rating. So it ended up that they were going to cut all of our scenes. That limousine scene, I don't know if I just mentioned it, didn't appear in the movie. As it turns out, neither did anything else, as we found out later, because as I said, 11 days of shooting, all sorts of overtime, and we ended up for 3 seconds in the film. Oh my God, it was quite embarrassing to some extent, but hey, they make those decisions. And it was really too bad because the scenes that we had were really interesting in that we were meeting this bad guy, and we were in the bowels of this huge tanker that was moored down at Toronto Harbor, and it was made out really cool, So only problem is, even though we're tied up, we're rocking a bit, and it got a little seasicky for a lot of people. But the fact was, the atmosphere was really cool and would have added a lot to the film. But they decided for the PG-13, they had to cut the water barons out. And there was another major problem with the film, which I think also had impact on whether they'd leave the water barons in or not. And it was simply this: Roger Ebert took a strip off the writers, strip off the directors, producers, everybody, because the movie was based on, or the story was based on, there being a queen water strider. You know, that bug that runs across the water in ponds and stuff? Well, somehow or another, they had done a genetic modification that meant when it mated with males, it gave them a toxin somehow or another, that when the water striders that were infected went out onto the reservoirs of all of the major cities in North America, they infected the water source and it was non-drinkable. Except that there is no queen water strider. And the whole theory of the film was the quest for Jennifer Love Hewitt and Jackie Chan to corner the infected queen so that they could get rid of it and therefore save the world. But as Roger pointed out, as Mr. Ebert pointed out, there was no such thing as a queen. The entomologists had a field day. So as a result, the film was not a good film. They couldn't save it cutting it. And as it turns out, for 11 days of shooting with lots of overtime, late nights and so on, we got 3 seconds of screen time. Hey, that's the life of an actor. Until next time, take care.